Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Listen, man, just got finished with my run. I will be going live for the Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight. Not the whole fight card, just the fight itself. People got to stop with this. Chris Eubank Jr. is the bigger man. He is not the bigger man. Conor Benn weighed in more than Chris Eubank Jr. They're both middleweights. So let's stop with that narrative because it's not true. Okay? Now, if Conor Benn chooses to drop back down to 147, a weight he hasn't fought at in years, that's his choice. But they need to stop trying to spin the narrative that Conor Benn is this little small, vulnerable guy who's going up against this Goliath and Chris Eubank Jr. And you'll hold your horse and stop taking it to the stupid. They're two middleweights. It is what it is. Now, who wins the fight? I think the only way Conor Benn wins is if he can land a shot from the gods, a shot from the heavens. I don't see him winning this fight. I think Chris Eubank Jr., he showed us that even at his worst, that Chris Eubank Jr. was still able to up it and take himself beyond the physical, beyond the mental, beyond the emotional. He went spiritual to win that fight against Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr. has something that not many fighters have. That being said, moving into this rematch, Chris Eubank Jr. is with Bomac. Chris Eubank Jr. made the weight a lot smarter. He had more time to make the weight. And I believe 100% Chris Eubank Jr. will be at minimum 20% better. And him being 20% better is more than enough for him to beat Conor Benn at Conor Benn's best, no matter what adjustments Conor Benn made in training camp. I got Chris Eubank Jr. winning this fight. I'm not saying there won't be some rounds that are competitive. What I am saying is, at the end of the day, Chris Eubank Jr. will use his reach, use his intelligence, use his experience, and show that Conor Benn isn't on his level. I will say this before I end this video. Conor Benn could land some shit, and he could change the fight. That just means that Chris Eubank Jr. probably got overconfident, probably lost focus, dropped his hands around his knees, or was just letting his hands go more than what he needed to, and Conor Benn caught him on the exchange, or he timed a long jab, and Chris Eubank Jr. came over or under it and hit Eubank Jr. with a shot he didn't see. Anyway, I'm not a betting man, but if you forced me to pick somebody, I'm picking Eubank Jr. Got to put a lot of respect on his last performance and a whole lot of respect for him working with Bomac, Crawford's team, and all the resources that he had, that Crawford has access to, Chris Eubank Jr. had access to, and I think he's going to come in there firing on all cylinders. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Time to go fishing, cook some food, and then get ready to watch this Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight. And I'm only going live for that fight, not the whole fight card. I don't want to see the other fights. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.